Autumn 1610. In a remote castle in the Carpathian Mountains, royal investigators broke down a door that had been locked for years. What they found behind it was never fully revealed to the public for centuries. A chamber full of bodies, some still alive, kept in darkness without food for days. In another room, they found a ledger containing hundreds of names. Names of young girls who never returned home. The woman who ruled this castle was no ordinary criminal. She was one of the wealthiest and most powerful women in Europe. History knows her by many names, but most often, she's remembered as the Blood Countess. This isn't folklore. This is the largest serial murder case ever recorded in history, and its perpetrator was almost never brought to trial. This is the story of Elizabeth Bathory. Born in 1560, Elizabeth Bathory came from one of the most powerful noble families in Hungary. Her cousin was the King of Poland, her uncle a cardinal. Power ran in her blood. At 15, she married Ferenc Nadasdy, a warlord nicknamed the Black Knight for his brutality on the battlefield. The marriage brought her a gift: Čachtice Castle, a stone fortress towering over the Carpathian Valley. While her husband spent years away at war, Elizabeth alone managed their lands, troops, and household. She was known to be sharp, well-educated, and fluent in 4 languages, a rarity for a woman of her time. But behind her castle walls, rumors began to spread among the servants. They said the young girls who came to work as maids didn't all last long. Some simply left. Others were never seen again. For nearly 2 decades, reports of missing girls kept coming from the villages around Čachtice. At first, the victims were peasant children, considered unimportant under the law of the time. But over time, Elizabeth began accepting daughters of minor nobility, sent to her to be educated. Witnesses would later testify to horrific torture behind the castle walls. The most infamous legend claims she bathed in the blood of young girls to preserve her eternal beauty. But modern historians doubt this story. It only appeared more than a century after her death and was never mentioned in the original trial documents. What was officially recorded remained horrifying enough. Testimony from over 300 witnesses describing systematic torture. Estimated victim counts range from dozens to, according to one controversial testimony, hundreds. The exact number remains an unresolved historical debate to this day. In the end, it wasn't the law that stopped Elizabeth. It was politics. The Hungarian crown owed the Bathory family massive debts, and her husband's death made her fortune a target. King Matthias II ordered Count George Thurzo to investigate the rumors in late 1610. When Thurzo arrived at Čachtice, the story goes he found evidence too horrifying to hide any longer. 4 of Elizabeth's closest servants were tried and executed for their involvement. But Elizabeth herself, due to her noble status, was never formally put on trial. Instead, she was handed a punishment almost unimaginable: to be walled alive inside her own chambers. For more than 3 years, she lived behind stone walls built specifically to imprison her. In 1614, Elizabeth Bathory was found dead in the very room where she'd been imprisoned, leaving a question historians still debate today: a true monster or the victim of a much larger game of power? Elizabeth Bathory died behind stone walls, but the debate surrounding her has never been sealed away. Monster, martyr, or something in between, her story remains one of history's darkest mysteries. If you enjoy uncovering the forgotten stories history left behind, subscribe to Forgotten Chronicles. There are many more waiting to be told.